Hi everyone, it's Denise. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a vertical journal with me using the sticker kit planner, and it is for the week of Lunar New Year as well as Valentine's Day, but we didn't actually celebrate Valentine's Day. We were both really busy, so we decided to postpone it and celebrate it another time, which we still haven't planned for that yet, but we got a lot of time, hopefully in the future, but at the moment, just a little bit on the busy side. So I am going to be using stickers from mainly Wonton and a Million. Cynthia and her team created this really lovely Lunar New Year advent calendar, as she did, I think, for the past 2 years. And so this is the year of the ox, so I'm using stickers from that set as well as from the previous year. I didn't get a chance to use it last year, so I'm using some full boxes and decorative stickers from that set as well, but they all are in the same red and gold color family. As I'm placing down the date covers, I always want to thank you guys during a video. I don't know, I just want to show that I am indeed thankful of all the comments that you leave behind. So I know now that I will try to upload as much as I can, and that my tangents, I guess they're interesting or they're relatable, so I will continue to sprinkle some here and there. If there are any topics you would like me to cover, then I guess comment them down below. No guarantee that I'll actually do it, but if it is something that I have been thinking about or I have enough facts to give you, then I may talk about it. And I don't know what you would come to me for, but then I will just continue to talk about my random thoughts in my head. Anyways, so this kit is obviously very foiled and the lighting is kind of blinding. I'm sorry. I don't know if I can ever change that, to be honest, since I can't really record in natural lighting at the moment. My schedule doesn't work like that. I can only film basically at night when the sun is gone. So I'm sorry if that bothers you, but I can't do much about it at the moment. So I don't know if you saw, but I was showing 2 sheets of full boxes because I'm using some full boxes from last year's set, which is the Year of the Rat, and this year's set, Year of the Ox. And I just wanted to mix them up because I really liked the ones from last year that have like these Chinese characters on the side, and the ones with the either lion dancing or dragon dancing. Like, you can't really tell by looking at the full box since it's looking straight on. You know, there could be a dragon tail behind them or lions. I don't know. We don't know. It's a mystery. So here is the beginning of my random thought train. So this is a very important celebration, Lunar New Year, for a lot of Asian cultures, including my family. We are Chinese and Vietnamese. My parents have separated, and my mom's side is the Chinese side, so I'm more in tune with that. But they are Chinese from Vietnam, so I know a little bit about Vietnamese culture and food, mostly food, but not a lot. And even with my Chinese side, I feel like every year this feeling gets worse where I just don't know much about Chinese culture at all. My family speaks Cantonese with each other, but then with my sister and I, they spoke or speak English, so I can only understand Cantonese. I can't speak it myself. And of course, since I'm not practicing it and I'm not really immersed in the language, I am probably forgetting a lot every year. And it does bother me, but I guess not enough to the point where I actually do something about it, which is, to be honest, a lot of things in my life. But I guess this year in particular, I just felt really guilty about not knowing the traditions of Lunar New Year. And of course, every family has different traditions. I don't really think my family had any super serious ones. Like, we just ate certain foods, and we had this really funny tradition that I didn't even know. I thought everyone did it. up until middle school, I think, when I went up to my other Chinese friend and I was like, oh, it's like Lunar New Year. Did you guys get your new pajamas yet? Because for some reason, my mom always got my sister and I, like, and herself, a pair of new pajamas every Lunar New Year. And I always thought that was just like good luck. But then in middle school, my friend looked at me really strangely and she's like, what are you talking about? That's not a thing. And I said, oh, okay. I think I found out right after that. My mom told me that it's not a real tradition and she just does it because it's fun. Which is fine. That's like it's a special family tradition, and like those are the warmest and nicest memories, right? And I don't want to forget them. I don't know. And this may sound like a really long ad, but I promise you it's not. This is the genuine reason why I loved the Wonton in a Million Advent calendar, because every single day you get a lesson, like a little information lesson about a certain tradition that is common with certain parts of the world, and like I didn't know them and now I kind of do. And they're fun to know. I may not actually believe in all the superstitions, like if you eat certain foods, it means you will have a prosperous new year, but I think it's just like a connection to my roots that I didn't really have before, or maybe I lost it along the way of growing up. I don't know, but I feel better about myself now, I guess, if I know a little bit, you know? I also don't want to come off as blaming my family. I'm worried that it's coming off like that, but I'm not blaming them. I think growing up, I just learned to just do things with no questions asked. So I never asked why we do certain things. And because I never asked why, they probably assumed that I wasn't interested in learning or something like that. There was a disconnect in the whole learning experience. So I learned a little bit this year, thanks to Cynthia and the Wonton in a Million Advent calendar, and that's a good start. I just guess don't want to lose that part of my identity. I've always been really proud of being Asian American, and I always joked. I was like, oh, I'm Asian American, but I don't speak Chinese. Like, I don't know Chinese. And then I would laugh about it, but inside I was probably really shameful, and sometimes I felt like I wasn't Chinese enough, and that is not a good feeling. I don't want to feel like that part of my identity will be erased. And if I have kids, I want it to be part of their identity too. So I think this was a good place to start, and I'm recognizing, I guess, a goal that I have long term to learn more. And I'm going to end my thought train there because I'm already halfway through putting down stickers and I didn't talk about a single one. But it was the beginning of the week, so very likely I just did my usual activities, which I can probably talk about the exact same ones I did the next journal with me. So now I think we're starting off with the fun part of the week, Thursday, so almost at the weekend. But that day, my order from Yoseka Stationery arrived, and they are a Japanese stationery store based in, I think, Brooklyn, New York. And I hope one day I get to visit the store in person because it just sounds so lovely and a pen lover's dream. So I ordered a fountain pen, the TWSBI Eco in Smoke Rose Gold, and it is absolutely gorgeous. I feel so sophisticated when I write with it, and the day when it is safe to go outside and socialize again, I feel like I'll feel extra fancy bringing out a fountain pen. But it writes really smoothly. I have it in the fine nib, which is probably equivalent to a 0.5 boldness, if you're wondering. And I also got several ink samples. So you can buy 3 to 5 milliliter ink samples. And this is the reason why someone guided me to this online shop, was because I don't want to like invest in a whole bottle of ink if I'm not really sure what it looks like in person or if I like that color. So buying ink samples are really nice because you can have enough ink to probably fill your pen maybe 2 to 3 times. And if you don't like it, then you just clean out the cartridge and switch to another ink, and you don't have to invest in a like $20 bottle. So if you are just starting in fountain pens too, then I suggest checking out their shop. They have a ton of different ink brands and ink samples, so many different colors. It's kind of overwhelming, but also really great. So I think I'll probably talk about what my interests have been expanding to in a different video, because I need to talk about what's happening on the page. So on Thursday, it is Lunar New Year's Eve, and it's the last day to do some real deep cleaning before the new year starts. You're not supposed to clean in the new year because like you don't want to wash away all of your good luck. I think that is a tradition that my family did kind of, but I think we just did it really loosely. I don't think we ever did any like deep cleaning. And so I just tried to clean up as much as I could during the afternoon and at night, right up until midnight, and then I just stopped tidying. And it was kind of a nice excuse to not clean anymore because I am a very messy person. It's like a chaotic organized in my head, you know. Some people will understand, like if I leave a pen in a place that pens usually aren't but I know it's there, sort of thing. Also on Thursday we finished watching Community. I think I started watching maybe season 3. Brian had been watching it previously and I wasn't really into it until later on. A very similar thing happened with the show The Good Place. Brian really liked it, but both The Community and The Good Place, they start off with characters that aren't very likable in my opinion, because they're very self-absorbed, and so I had no patience for that, and I was like, I don't want to watch it. These people are annoying me. But as the series goes on, character development and all that, they become more likable, and so that's why I start midway. Like, I didn't plan that to happen, but I think that is my pattern. So Friday is Lunar New Year. I used this gold foiled script sticker from Scribble Prints Co. in one of the third boxes with a Maru dressed up as an ox. I did feature myself drawing that in a previous video. And then I also had a site-wide sale, and it was probably the last one for the next several months. So I marked that, and I used a red envelope sticker from that same Lunar New Year sheet from my shop, which I think is nice to have all year round because I like using red envelopes if I have to like give gifts of money or whatever, and I think it's just cute. And I got a recipe from my housemate's mom for New Year cake called niangao, and she eats it with red bean, which I don't know if it's common or not. I think there's a whole bunch of different types of New Year cakes. This is a baked version with red bean, and it was fun to make. I love mochi, chewy textures, so this needed a whole box of glutinous rice flour, so it was very delicious and not too sweet actually. I used a baking Toto sticker from Paper Kumako, and then as a house we had New Year dinner, so we didn't see our families for this occasion, but we did have housemates to celebrate it with, and we got some takeout from one of our favorite, I think it's a Taiwanese restaurant called House of Pancakes, and it's not IHOP. They have like green onion pancakes that are so good, and there's one that has a simmered, like very thinly sliced beef wrapped in a roll. That one is my favorite. And we listened to some throwback Chinese pop music, and I rediscovered some that, I don't know, I used to listen to back in the day. And I also wanted to try this new baking recipe that I saw in a Facebook group that I'm in, and it was a combination of Taiwanese pineapple cakes and French madeleines, which sounds so good. And technically, it's like not too difficult to make. It just requires some prep time, and the madeleine batter has to rest in the fridge for 24 hours, although I only made it rest for like less than 12 because I was on a time crunch. So I prepped that Friday night at like midnight, and I baked it in Saturday morning. It turned out really good. The pineapple jam was not too sweet, and it was from a can, but it tasted fresh. And that morning we as a house did a 5K run. It was part of one of our friends' tradition to do a 5K run for Lunar New Year and then follow it with some dim sum. But this year is different, so we adapted and we ran outside, kind of like how virtual 5Ks have been going. You just pick a neighborhood and say you ran 5K, and we did. And it was my first time running with a mask on. It was terrible, and I kid you not, like maybe 2 blocks into running, my period started. It was like PE class flashbacks, like the worst thing that could happen. When you're doing the mile run and your period starts and you gotta finish, but it feels uncomfortable, and that's what I did. I finished, and no one knew about what was happening with me until I got home. I ended the week with one last bake because it was Valentine's Day. I wanted to try to make these heart-shaped strawberry flavored custard buns, and a tip that I received was to flavor the custard with strawberry Nesquik to get that strawberry flavor, and that was a bad idea because it didn't work. It didn't taste like strawberry. It kind of gave it an artificial sweet taste, and now I have a whole tin of strawberry Nesquik that we probably won't drink, and I don't know what to do with it. So anyways, that is the end of this journal with me. Thank you for sticking around till the very end if you did. I know I always question or survey you guys, but does it bother you that this video is going to be like 18 minutes long of me talking? Let me know. But I guess this was a very eventful week, so there was a lot to chatter about and so much more to talk about in my next video. So I will talk to you then. Bye!